Hello there, friends and neighbors. I'm going to show you how to copy data from a clipboard into R using R Commander and the EZR plugin. First, we'll need to load R. So I'm going to the R icon on my desktop. And if you have a more recent install, then your R looks a little different from mine, but it's the letter R. So double click on it, and it will pull up just this command line window for if you're working with a default install. If you get this interface, you have to type one and only one command, this command. Lowercase library, open parenth, capital R, lowercase cmdr. It stands for R Commander. Okay, but mine is set to automatically pull that up. Once you've got R Commander loaded, the next thing you need to do is Tools, load R Commander plugins, choose the EZR plugin, EZR, and click OK. Then it will threaten you, and you'll say, I'm courageous. I do want you to restart. And you click Yes. Okay, then it restarts. Here's the question from the homework about this. You wish to test the following claim about HA, that's the alternative hypothesis, with the significance level of alpha 0.005. D denotes the mean difference between pretest and post-test. The null hypothesis is that mu of D equals 0. The alternative is a right tail alternative that mu of D is greater than 0. You believe the population difference scores is normally distributed, therefore the assumptions are valid. And you need to know, you do not know the standard deviation. That's what makes it a t-test. So we're going to do a paired t-test. You obtain the following data. So what I'm going to do then is copy this whole data set. I come here to the name, and I hold Control and move my mouse down so I select it all. Right click, copy. Now it's in my buffer. I go to R, and R Commander and EZR, File, Import Data, so File, Import Data, Read Text Data from File, Clipboard, or URL. I need to change the field separator to tabs. I need to change location of data file to clipboard. And then I don't have to do anything else. I click OK. And because I didn't give it a name, it defaults to the name dataset, at least with my version. And then I click, which means that I'm overwriting it, or I can change the name. I don't care about the name, so I'm just going to say yes, overwrite. And it has been overwritten. Now, statistical analysis, continuous variables, paired t-test. Okay. And the instructions state that I'm going to use pre-test in the first field. That's the first variable. The second variable is post-test. Now I have to change the alternative to match whatever my actual alternative is from the question. In this particular example, it is a right-tailed alternative. So I'm going to change difference greater than 0. And then I click OK. And it gives me everything I need. I'm going to scroll up to go get to the output that I need. Here's the T. It is 2.4827. That's the first question. That's rounded to 4 places, which is sufficient. That's the test statistic. What's the p-value? Right here next to the t is the p-value, 0.1317. The p-value is less than or equal to alpha or greater than alpha. Well, the alpha was 0.005, and the p-value is 0.013, which means that that is greater than alpha. If the p-value is greater than alpha, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. And finally, if we fail to reject the null, that means the data support the alternative. Remember, we never accept or fail to reject. We never accept either hypothesis. And for the alternative, we never reject or fail to reject it. The decision about rejection has only to do with HO. Now we're talking about the alternative, and so We only talk about whether the data support it. So this is pretty tortuous language, so let's give it a shot. There is sufficient evidence to warrant a rejection of the claim that it is greater than 0. That would mean we're rejecting H1. We never reject, and we never fail to reject H1. So that cannot be the answer. Okay, second option. There is not sufficient evidence to warrant a rejection. Again, we are rejecting the claim that it is greater than 0. And it is impossible to reject or fail to reject H1. That decision only has to do with HO. Next option. The sample data support the claim, we're in business here, that the mean difference is greater than 0. That would be true if we rejected HO. If you reject HO, then you support H1. But we did not reject HO. We failed to reject it. So in fact, we support H1. This last option, there is not sufficient sample evidence to support the claim that the mean difference is greater than 0. And that's right. There's not sufficient evidence to support H1. Now I click Submit. All the options turn green, and everybody's happy.